that got messy for them. Now we're taking an aircraft and just finish them off, but yeah, it's better if I take this in. Well, it's better if I take that in, really, but this is better for RP. A lot better. Unlucky! I win. That looks things. And surprisingly, once again. La-dee-dee. See if he can take it, shall we? I don't think he will be able to if it hits his halt. Oh no. Quite happily just takes the shot. Right, so what am I up to now? 143,000, that's going up pretty rapidly, I have to say. I'm getting, on average, around about 5,000 RP per game from this lineup that I'm using at the moment. And I'm not using that at all, really. I'm mainly using that. This is kind of silly. Like I said, I do kind of feel sorry for the enemy team, but at the same time I don't, because I know that they've always got vehicles that can do this as well, as far as getting down tier goes. The difference being that their vehicles are a lot less effective than this one. this is much more effective than what the Americans and the Germans get at 7.7. The what's it called? Leopard 1. No, not as effective as the T-54, I have to say. The gun's good on the Leopard 1, but that doesn't make up for the fact that it's got no armour. Whereas this has decently sloped armour and a decent gun, coupled with, I'd say, adequate agility across the battlefield. I mean, it's still stock for me, really, at the moment. I've only got, like, 5 upgrades. So, you know, I've got even less than half at the moment. And none of, well, I've only got one that affects, no, that doesn't even affect maneuverability. Never mind then. I thought it might, but obviously it doesn't. So yeah, I mean, you know, there's not really anything that's affecting the performance of the vehicle at the moment, other than the crew. It's still fairly agile. Not having any problems with getting across the battlefield with it, and engaging the enemy. It's more down to either my own mistake or lack of team coordination, I suppose, with regards to getting taken out. And it's not happening a lot. You know, I got taken out in the last game. I got taken out in one of the previous games, which was not up tiered as well, I don't think. But in both cases, we then went on to win quite comfortably. But let's see. So that was I up tiered there? Yeah. So 2, I think that was, out of 8 now, I've been up tiered. The rest I've been down tiered. Let's see what I get this time. Okay, so straight away I think I've been dented. Just a guess. But I'm mistaken, because that's an IS-4, and that's an SU-12254. So someone's dragged an IS-2 into this game. Or he's got an IS-2 in his lineup, maybe, that guy. But why he'd take the IS-2 out first, I'm not so sure. I don't think that's the premium. It's hard to say from this. It didn't look like it from when I saw him. Maybe he's got a jet in his lineup or something like that that's thrown up. By the way, I've been upset. So 3 out of 9 games. M6s and Leopards are actually destroying my team at the moment. Quite effectively balanced things. I'm assuming the enemy are camped quite far back, so I'm going to take steps to rectify that. Thought so. I mean, I wouldn't normally check this area up here, but knowing top tier games, there'll probably still be guys camped up here. There we go, I can hear an engine. Wow. Luckiest M103 player in the world, I think. There we go. Now he's in trouble. There's another one right next to him. Hoping that that explosion has actually tracked him. Now I think that that's all of the campers, but I'm not sure. There may be another one. The problem is if I don't push down there now, we're not going to win. We're going to lose, and I'm going to be, in the same boat as those idiots that I see playing for kills, which I don't want to be in, if I'm completely honest. So let's see what I can do, if I can get in there or not. Oh, there we go. I'm not going to be able to get in there, I guess. That's an M103 that I just spotted. Number 4. But that's it, game over. First loss. Oh no, lol. I've got an M60 about. Didn't see where that shot came from. I think it was from the far side, but I'm not sure. second. Let's see if there's any movement. I'm guessing he's over there. Oh, there's someone. Ah! The leopard. See where he is? Yeah, I was right. Oh look, another heat round. I know exactly where he is though. So, a little playback, if I can get a chance. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a chance now because they're capping. Come on, kill him. You. Oh. He still didn't get the kill either. That's it, game over. First defeat of the day. And it was probably down to the team being a bunch of puddings. Looking at it, that seems to be the case. I mean, all I have to do really is look at the score. Because basically what happened was, I'd say that all of these guys, they all rushed straight for the cap. And got annihilated. Because they were just rushing the open ground, and these guys were using heat rounds to kill them. Simple as that, really. So that was the 9th game. So 1 loss in 9 games. That's not bad at all, I have to say. But I'm not really expecting. I mean, I wasn't expecting that actually today, especially after yesterday. Yesterday it was fucking terrible. The teams I was getting were just abysmal. Today, however, it's been a fairly mixed bag, I suppose, so far apart from that last game. The last game, they were morons again. Tenth game. Danted, I guess. Looks like it. Yeah, I've been danted. And I got the Americans on my side. So the enemy will have quite a few leopards on this game, well, in this game I imagine, but won't be a full team. I'm pretty sure of that. Amazing. Ah! Couldn't turn it quick in time. Oh, I actually didn't manage to do anything really there. I got, what, one assist? Tracked the other, another one as well. ZSU, yes. Now, I know that they've got a lot on the north side. So, I'm going to try and take a flanking position up to cover the cap and the bridges, more importantly. Okay, I'm not seeing where these shots are coming from at all. Behind me by those things. Yep, there you go. Looks like I've got another bad team, I suppose. I don't know. Okay. So, Russian team. That is a Russian team. Oh, Russian players. Bad. Very bad. Let's have a look. Yeah, half the team didn't do anything really. I mean, I only got one assist there and hit on another one, I think. But, yeah. At least I actually did something. I'm not sure if these guys did. There's two guys there with assists, I suppose, so they did something as well. He's still alive. But there's, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys left. Versus 8 guys as well, so, alright. 50-50 at the moment. Although I wouldn't put money on these guys win it. They could, because they've got the Russian vehicles. That's the advantage. Let's just have a look, shall we? Hiya, pizza dude. But yeah, I think there was another case of being down-tiered though. So what was that? 3 out of 10. That I think is kind of broken, really. And look at this guy, he's in that, the M18, which is about 5.0 vehicle. He's in the 6.7 lineup, I guess. And he was probably expecting to face up against 6.7s. Pretty much the same as that Ferdinand, I suppose. I just took a shot from somewhere. Okay, so I could be mistaken. We might win this one. That's from a team that I think... I don't know, actually. Whether or not this is just down to being, you know, derps being derps, or if it's a case of... just the, you know, the tier 5 gameplay, because at the tier that we're facing, I mean, they've got Leopard 1s, remember. If they've got heat rounds, they can one-shot anything on our team. Doesn't matter if they're in the T-54 or not, they can do it. And we can do the same to them. So, in effect, what you get is a situation where whoever sees the enemy first gets the kill, the player just can't do anything about it, and is therefore knocked out and possibly out of the game, or just able to bring in AA, which is no substitute really for a tank in a tank. You know, in a tank v tank situation. So yeah, I mean, I'm saying that, you know, these teams are bad. It could be a case that half the time it's not. And it's just a case that that's the way that the gameplay works out in the high tier stuff. It's not as brutal at tier 4, for example. I mean, tier 4. A lot of the time, in the closing, well, in the at the start of the engagement, you're actually quite far away from the enemy, and at that point, most of the time you won't be able to kill anything. I mean, it does happen occasionally if one person's sniping and another player snipes him, that someone will get killed. I mean, I've done it before, and I've had it done to me. Well, yeah, I think I've had it done to me before as well. But either way, that's not a regular thing. In tier 5 combat, like battle rank 8 or battle rank 7.7, that becomes commonplace because of the guns available, the heat rounds in particular. The Leopard's gun, yeah, is going to be a real pain for the opposing teams to fight against, but it doesn't have any armor, which of course kind of changes that around. Either way, yeah, we've won that. So yeah, as far as like tier 5 combat goes, yeah, it's what they can do with it. I think it's the problem. I honestly think what they should do is make them into hour-long games. if they make them into hour-long games, they can up the amount of spawn points that you get. So, I don't know, give everyone 1,000 spawn points each, for example, to begin with. And that them, well, maybe not taking the aircraft to begin with, or maybe then, because you've got 1,000 points to spend, you know, you can maybe get another 2 vehicles in with that, to begin with, even without getting any kills or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, they could do that to it. I personally think they really need to do something with the ground forces at the moment, because it's too, hard to say, probably linear, too, there's not enough in it, more than anything. There's, at least for the realistic side of combat anyway, there's very little as far as objectives go. The game modes are fairly tame, and unimaginative. Unimaginative, yeah, that's the word. But yeah, it's they need to do something with it. That's the kind of crux, I suppose, I'm getting towards. And need to do something pretty quick, as I don't think the player base is going to really grow without some major change in it. That sounds insane to me. And yeah, I have already pre-ordered Fallout 4. I'm tempted to upgrade my pre-order to a Pip-Boy edition. Although, I'm not sure if I can do that now. But yeah, I do plan on playing it quite a lot. When it does come out, of course. Right, well that's the 10 battles done as far as the test goes, I suppose, for today. I don't really want to just continually play Russian stuff, because it is for me it's kind of mentally weary. Or it's weary, I suppose it's making me weary. Yeah, it's silly what the current situation is with this ground forces whatever thing, you know, you want to call this, battle simulation, realism, whatever. It's a Pip-Boy edition, PIP. You know the thing that you normally get on your wrist? Well, if you order the Pip-Boy edition, you basically get kind of one of them in real life. They, you know, send it to you. I'll have, if you give me a sec, I'll have a look and see if I can find it. There you go. So let's have a look. Oh, wait a minute. Only available to ship to the continental US. You bastards. Ah. I am disappointed. I might have to write to them about it. Because that's annoying if I can't get it. I will be rather pissed. But yeah, that's the Pip-Boy edition. Yeah, I've not got that. I've pre-ordered it already, but I will. I am possibly going to hopefully upgrade to the Pip-Boy edition. Maybe I might get one of you guys to get it. Do I play US tanks? I've been playing US tanks a long time, as well, since I've been in game, I suppose. Down to the top tier stuff now. German tanks as well, but I'm just down to the last few dregs. I've got 5 Russian vehicles to research. There's one there that I've not got, and there's one there I've not got. I think I've got everything else in that tree, apart from these ones as well. Germans just missing that one, as far as I'm aware. Don't think I'm missing anything else. Nope. And the Americans, I don't think I'm missing anything with these apart from that. Yeah, that's what I might have to do, pizza dude. Yeah, psychosis. That's what is known as Gaijin. You're better off going for possibly 3.7 with the Germans, I think, in order to avoid the tiger spam. But then you obviously don't make as much RP. It's a pain in the arse to grind through, but you can do it. If given enough time. I'm sure anything is possible in this game. Right. So, this, I really need to get, like, stuff for this. When I say stuff, I mean, like, fire extinguishers and so on. Because at the moment, it has nothing. Well, yeah, no, sorry, it's got parts. That's it. It's not even got the standard M82 round shot. So it's, at the moment, it's got HE or that round, which is pants, as far as I can tell. Yes. As far as the rest of the stuff goes, yeah, it's got a heat round, but where it is, it's going to take a while to get down there to that much I can tell you. Either that or a substantial amount of golden eagles, which I'm not going to spend. So, it's going to be painful death for that in the meantime. I would down to that to do some 7.7 games, but without having better ammunition on it, I don't see that there's much point. If it had heat on it, then yeah, I'd take that out in an instant, because that against a Leopard or against T-54 with heat, yeah, I'd put that up against it, I think. Let me just check the heat round out. Penetration 320, yeah, I'll fuck over as many tanks as you want with that, quite happily. This, the M46, I don't think it gets heat rounds and suffers accordingly. Basically, yeah, you're stuck with APCR, which is nowhere near as effective. Okay, right, well, that's my standard lineup, I suppose. I mean, I would take the B-57s in, but the first one, no guns. Second one has a busted bomb bay like you would not believe, so yeah, I'm not taking that out until I know it's been fixed. That, and basically I've got the A26 Invader. Why would I want to take out either of those two when I've got that? Pretty sure it actually carries a very similar 6-1000s, yeah, 6-1000 or 9-500s. The A26, with that I can carry 8-500s or 4-1000s, so it's not that much different. Plus it also gets machine guns and defensive machine guns as well, which just equates to some uber, well, not uber, but defensive firepower, you know, and offensive firepower as well. Whereas that doesn't get that. Doesn't get any defensive firepower or offensive weaponry other than the bombs. Yeah, the delay was there in real life, but in this, it's bugged. Whenever I've used it, I've had mixed results with it. First time I used it, it dropped early. The bomb reticle dropped by about 2 inches, or moved towards me by about 2 inches, and then dropped the bombs there. And the second time I did a bomb run with it, it dropped them late, I think. It's just, yeah, I mean, I don't know what Gaijin, well, they need to do something with it really quickly, to be honest, because at the moment, it's just, yeah. The funny thing is with that particular variant of the B-57, the B, is it, I think, is that, you know, it was, they crowed about it when they brought that into the game. They were like, oh, look at this, you know, B-7B, oh, it's got guns, blah, 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 blah. Ah, you want this. But it's broken, so you can't do anything with it. It's just fucking retarded. And it's still like that almost 8 months, 9 months later. I think that came in last September. Around about that time. It took me a while to get it, but yeah, you can see I've still got 4 free repairs left on it, but because it's not. There's no point in taking it at the moment because the bomb bay doesn't work properly. That, and it's still got the same pretty much broken flight model as B-57A, which is terrible. You pull negative G's in that, and you'll pop the wings off left, right, and centre. And yeah, you've just got a recipe for disaster, really, which is that. It's yeah, comical, I suppose. Oh, sorry, Psychosis. I saw you. I thought you were saying that you were grinding through German tanks. If you're on the Americans, then yes, 4.3 or less, or 6.7 or higher, or 6.3, I suppose. What stats of the crew would I recommend upgrading first? I suppose I could show you maybe after this game. I'll try and remember. But basically, I go for kind of like the core skills and vitality. So stuff like what's it called? Oh, I got the winter killer. Yeah, so stuff like reloading, leadership, radio skill. Radio skill to a lesser extent depends on the crew and what they're actually going to be doing. If it's a yeah, if it's a heavy tank crew, for example, you don't really need to be putting the radio operator skill up because obviously he's not going to be using his radio because he's probably not even in the tank. But either way, yeah, you get the idea. It's the core skills that I tend to go for first. I will upgrade the secondary skills as well, stuff like visibility to a point. But yeah, I don't really go for maxing out them completely. This is interesting. A lot of my team are going straight down the middle. Yeah, vitality is an important one, but you still need to be getting your reload skill up, I suppose, to maybe be a minimum of around about 20 before you start really grinding on the vitality. But vitality, to be honest, doesn't really make that much difference, which is why getting your other skills up as well is important, because you know, you can get one shot, and having a high hit point stat for your crew is not going to help you in that respect. So you might as well, like I say, upgrade your reload skill, get your crew so that they're more efficient at fighting. The other thing as well is it's whether or not you want to spend golden eagles on it or not. Because if you're spending golden eagles on something, then, you know, you could just max the crew out immediately. It's kind of a bit pointless, I suppose, but you can pay to win like that in this game. That's a nice fall. And it's dead. I'm not going to go mental with it this time. I'm going to try and get some, well, as most RP as I can. And the easiest way to do that is basically get into the cap and let the enemy come to me. So, that's what I'm going to do. There we go. 10 right. Just below this ridge line. Around this corner. Really? I didn't get an assist for that. I just fucking shot him like 5 seconds before. Anyway. Exciting gameplay. Bah. To be honest, it's not going to happen until September. That's when the next patch is going to be due. I'm pretty sure it's September when Gaijin normally, release the like autumn patches. It may be next month, but I kind of doubt it. Especially if it's going to include the British tanks, because that's going to be shitloads of stuff. It's going to need a lot of freaking playtesting as well. I mean, I said it before. I don't want to jinx it, but I'll say it again. I would not be surprised if Gaijin delay the British tanks until Christmas, because of what's it called? The way that they do things with regards to the big releases, and the British tanks is kind of a big release. If they do that, then I'd also expect the Japanese to get put back until the summer of next year. I'm not kidding. It wouldn't surprise me. If they do that as well, then you're looking at another delay on the naval units, which will probably mean that naval units won't get until next Christmas. Which, yes, that's a year and a half away. If that is the case, then I mean, the thing is, at the moment player base is just so small. British tanks might add 10,000 to it for a period of time until people find out that they're probably just as broken as the rest of the game, or ground forces are, and then you've got another 6-month wait until the Japanese tanks get put in. Japanese tanks, I think, might pull in quite a lot of players, especially from Japan. But like, that's on the other side of the world, so it's not going to affect this side of the player base. And yeah, I mean, how many people it actually does bring in, I'm not so sure, but we'll have to wait and see. And then naval units, I think that will drag players in again, but the way I see it with naval units is it's going to go one of two ways. I think they've already decided, and it's going to be Japan and America as far as which units get put in first. So it's not that's not their core market. America kind of, they want to get into there, if you know what I mean. They want America's money. Japan, same for them. At the moment with Japan, there's not really that much in there, so they need to kind of like get the tanks out, if you know what I mean. When they get the ships in, if they put the Japanese ships and the American ships in first, that, yeah, it could create quite a fuss, but it's just how long it's going to take to get into the game. I mean, I like I said, I don't want to jinx this thing with regards to when they actually do release this stuff. But if they do put the British tanks in at Christmas, then Japanese tanks in next summer and naval units next winter, you're talking a year and a half for that. That'll only add in 2 nations, and then you're going to have to probably wait 6 months for each of the other nations to get their ships put in. So you're looking at 3 years from now before all of the content, well, not even all of the content at that point, I imagine as well, will be in game. You're in for a bit of a wait, folks. The way I see it is Gaijin have a big problem, and that's basically the income with this game and how they can continually get it, because for 3 years they're going to have to basically get people to continue play test this game and play it, so they can continue with the development. Whether or not it survives that long, yeah, remains to be seen. I understand, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, basically, Vicious. Because the player base has been shrinking, it's not been growing. They need to get something in here pretty fucking sharpish to wake it back up again. To get the blood pumping. As it's currently not. It could really be a good game. It still has the potential. It's all down to whether or not Gaijin are going to waste that potential on cheap thrills, cheap gimmicks, and bad development. I just realised I'm in the D54 again. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Honestly. Well, yeah, I got it down to it again. So out of 11 games, I got it tiered 3 times today with regards to this vehicle and its usage. Yeah, same for me, to be honest. It was similar for me for World of Tanks, but with this it's worse because I do like this game. With World of Tanks, it was so simple-minded that once I got bored of it, the lack of development was whoa. That's so low. Yeah, as I said, with Zotac, I lost interest in it. But with this, I'm still interested, you know. Come on, come on, come on, come on. A little bit more. A little bit more. Come on. No, don't push me towards the enemy, please. That's just asking for me to get shot. There we go. Come on. Yes! That was quick at them as well. I'm glad at least some of my team went north. Kind of feel sorry for that Tiger 1P. I'd hate to see what his lineup's like. He probably had no idea that he'd been up to. He probably's got like the Tiger 2P in his lineup or something like that, and was fed up of getting up-tiered or, you know, wasted in that thing, so he took in this Tiger 1P first, expecting to fight against, I don't know, IS-2s maybe, or Pershings. Or maybe not even Pershings, you know, Shermans hopefully. Instead he ended up in this game, and then ran into me. Try the graphics, scrub a bit of gas down here. Oh no. We've got one guy left in the 262. I think we might win this one. I'm going to spade this thing pretty quickly, I reckon. If I continue, you know, playing it. I am going to eventually get bored of playing this, by the way. It's, well, this particular tank, you know, lineup, whatever. But also, I am getting quite... I'm still getting bored, I suppose, of the actual gameplay involved in this. There's not that much. Well, I say there's not that much. There's, it's just, it doesn't change. It's not developing enough or quickly enough.